Food sovereignty. We know what food sovereignty is. So growing up with our great-grandmother and grandmother and Auntie Fran, this is the time of the season we would go gather seagull eggs, sea eggs, grunters, and we'd go dig 300 or 400 horse clams and we'd dry them all at the same day, yeah? You guys know how to do any of that? When will you guys learn? Huh?
Nautsium, hello, howdy, and welcome, Nishalacha, to the Wisdom Keepers video series. In this series, we gather elders, culture bearers, and youth, visiting our culturally significant places, sharing who we are by learning about where we come from and where we remain since time immemorial. Students, together with their teachers and guidance from tribal leaders, developed interview questions and prepared to listen, learn, and grow from sharing time and place with the ones who carry our Shalangan. By creating this series, we hope to inspire other youth to seek elders and culture bearers for connection and wisdom outdoors. All youth can look to these videos as a model for how to ask questions, listen to their elders, and understand where they come from. Lummi Nation high school students from the Blackhawk Productions Arts and Media program volunteered to interview elders and culture bearers at locations chosen by elders and culture bearers. Each community elder holds sacred important locations and stories relative to these places. While chosen for their importance, the places shared in this series are by no means our only sacred locations. Many places
foods over there. Fish every day, fish and potatoes. My grandmother had a garden. She grew potatoes. My dad had the fish. My dad was a reef knitter, and reef knitting was the thing. We had those great big boats where they'd reef knit, and there was only 3 or 4 people that lived right across from where I'm looking. We never ate deer meat. We didn't eat deer meat, we ate fish. Deer meat was not a diet in our time. That's the way it was. You know, my dad didn't shoot deer because we had plenty of smoked, salted fish. There was no blackberries here, but they came on ships, and a fisherman brought them over, and we that lived here liked it, but now it's a pest. The blackberry bushes. We'd go out to the islands and we'd stay there in the islands. And that's where my dad fished. And that's when we seen many fishermen come over and fish.
River to spawn, you know, they go way up by the mountains up way, you know, way up the mountains, Cookham Creek up that way, you know, way up the mountain towards Mount Baker. Yeah, and spawn, yeah. So.
What I hope to bring to you children and instill in your children and restore your culture and your identity and don't be ashamed of who you are, where you are and where you come from. Because I'm a supporter of all that. Like I said before, I want the best for you. And knowing your past, where you come from, sets the direction of where you're going. There's a lot into that saying. Know where you come from and know where you're going. So let's have a good day. Yeah, we're really going to have. I've been talking to Tom about the production that's coming back, and and really shift gears into what's working. And what we want to work and what's working is two different things. You know, I said with the real strong returns of coho, let's shift gears and let's just go into coho until we bring the others along. Because the cohos is the bright spot in our whole fishery.
Now it's CM, Cyrus Jameson and Snap. I'm here with Steve. It's a sunny day. Steve, could you share a little bit about where we are and what we're doing here today?
We are up the South Fork of the Nooksack River to where we had a hatchery built in 1967, 68, Skookum Creek Hatchery to get our people back salmon for the people, and the growth of our nation was put here through our leaders of the 60s. That was the purpose, is to get fish back to our community. And today, fast forward to today, to the onset of the Bolt decision, we're no longer on the menu. We've got a voice at the table, and you know, our wants for our people are paramount, and hatchery production and the whole fight of Magnuson-Stevens and ESA and what it means to us as tribal leaders. It's immense that you look at the treaty, and you know, it's etched in that treaty that the federal government supposed to supply hatcheries and support hatcheries in the way of getting fish back to our community through their mitigation. It's their mitigation. They're the ones that did all the degradation, and you look around through all tribal nations that we're trying to heal and fix something that we never created. You know, i.e. the farmers and the ag. You know, take a look at our surrounding delta and drainage at our river systems, and you'll see mountain debris that we didn't create, but yet we're tasked to fix the environment and through ecology and ag, you know, on something that our people didn't do. You know, we didn't log the mountains clean down to the streams, and you know, and there's all kinds of processes that were cast into that, you know, that don't get my people a fish, but through hatcheries you can get my people fish.
I know. He's like, no, guys.
My auntie told me, like, they used to go and get oysters, and they would just open them and feed them to me when I was a baby. Like the raw ones.
I feel so bad stepping on this.
Plankton.
It's so bright.
Right in front of you.
You're digging him in.
He's cool though. He shines like out of all the other hermit crabs.
We have humor. We have to have humor, you guys. So, you see those birds over there on the spit? Yeah. Seagulls. So we only gather them the month of May, the Lummies do. At the same time, we went and gathered sea urchins. We call them sea eggs for some particular reason. But the very same day, my brother John dug 300 horse clams and dried the noses on the beach.
we can't transplant it because it won't grow no more. The pollution ruined everything. The water, the dirt, the river, the taste of the fish, the taste of the food has got a different flavor. If you ever notice, I don't know if you can remember being on a farm, but things change. We change with the community, with the environment. We change a lot. We try to be like them, but no, we don't have to be like them. We have to be who we are, and that's who we're going to be.
But here, if you talk to the elders in Lummi, they're going to say there's more than 13 seasons. You know, only because of the things we gather. So, you know, I learned this at a very young age about berries, yeah.
Berries, we ate a lot of berries, blackberries. We picked blackcaps, blackberries, thimbleberries, gooseberries. Down at Gooseberry, we had wild gooseberries. And you go there now, you can't find gooseberries. All the gooseberry plants are gone. Everything's disappearing. I'd say everything that I remember, no more.
At the same time, we gather sea eggs, which is squeezy, yeah? Or sea urchins.
You know, and their crew is just nonstop going. And, you know, the whole crew is sweating profusely because they've got hundreds and hundreds of fish right here that need to be taken care of. And they've got hundreds and hundreds of fish waiting to come in. It's just a sight to behold when you come up here. Make it a point to come up here in mid-September, and you could feel, I could tell you, you could actually feel the energy that those salmon give off. And that's what these guys work for. Getting to that stage, the energy that everything they're doing is right. And it's a reward in itself to be around that kind of exuberation, to when you see those adult fish here that you created, and we're bringing them back. You know, it's such a joy in my heart, and these guys know how much I love them and their work, you know, and they come out fishing with us when they help fill the gaps, and, you know, they know how much, I let them know how much I want them in my life, because good people are hard to find, especially in this setting. You know, good help is really hard to find. You've got to have that drive in here to make this program work. And that's what I'm constantly searching for, some young kids to get out and really feel that right out of school. Right out of school, there's a place for you. You just got to have that drive. I'm not going to tell you to do that. You got to have it. Not everybody has it. So just follow what's in here, and you will be all.
Those circulars over here is called a reuse system, and what it does, food availability tends to relate to how big the fish is. Even when they get out in the ocean, if you were to try and figure out how old a fish was and how well it ate or whatever, you can pull the scales off of the fish, look at it under a microscope, and see growth rings like on a tree in relation to how the fish grew out. And so we'll fill all these trays up, and the way that they work is it's kind of like a trickle-down effect. The water will come in from the top and hit the top tray, and then down and down and down and down and down until it goes to the floor and out. And if you keep the fish cooler, it'll draw out the growth cycle of it and slow it down. If it's a little warmer, it can be done quicker. but I think it was 90 days or something like that that they're hatched and ready to eat on their own.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast. We get 350 of them back and then we can release another 1,000,000. This guy here has 4 different cameras and a wheel that, depending on the size of your eggs, Chinook eggs are bigger than coho eggs, but basically will spin and use water pressure to put the eggs into each one of these little holes, and then it'll spin, take a picture of it, and if it sees through it that the water or the egg is clear, it'll kick it off to the side and say that's a good egg. But as it's spinning and it sees a cloudy egg, it'll kick it off in a and it'll go into a bad egg bucket. You know what I mean?
And she says we got to get our kids back. So.
Yeah, so sorry about this. So look at this. This is 89 days when it turns into a fry,
Yep.
which means that it's all absorbed and it's ready to go. And that's when we can get away with feeding those fish ourselves.
89 days.
Yep. From day 1 being fertilized, 13 days later, it says it's pretty nice, because what we used to do is take heads on all of our fish, send them down to Olympia or whatever, and have to wait 6 months to get the result. Now we can do it all ourselves.
The pigs used to sleep in the dirt.
So they were free too to
Yeah.
roam?
Apples, cherries, berries, prunes, plums. My sister used to tell, "Get out of that tree, that's not yours." She'd be scolding her, "Get out of that tree." We'd be trying to eat our apple and cherries, and she didn't want us to eat from the tree. But we were kids, you know. We weren't stealing, we were borrowing.
Look at this. This is the biggest crab right now.
That we found.
Oh, dang it.
I lived on that island sitting right up there. See the mountain up there? I lived up across there. I lived from island to island to island. We went on a gas boat. We went from that island to a next island. We went to another island to another one. Then we ate squeezy.
Squeezy. What's that?
What?
I don't know what that is.
Do you know what squeezy is?
No, what is it?
Seagull eggs?
Huh?
No.
Is this?
What is it?
You know what
I
squeezy
don't know
is?
the actual name. I just know.
You know what squeezy is?
Yeah, it's the pokies. The little pokey.
Sea urchins?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sea urchins?
Sea urchin.
I love to open a restaurant. I want to have like all the original,
Native dishes.
yes, all original native dishes and like all the original plants that grow in here. And
I always wanted to make a garden.
yeah, I want to make a garden for my restaurant. I wonder what the food would taste like
With fresh plants.
with fresh plants.
We were never hungry because we ate our seafood, our clams, the grandparents grew potatoes. Then somebody brought us the berries, so we had berries. But these Himalayas and evergreens, they popped up everywhere. Those bushes all around us. They increased like a mama. They increased really fast.
Yeah, they're very robust.
Yes.
nonprofit storytelling group. Wisdom Keepers is a collaborative production led by Lummi Natural Resources and produced between esteemed Lummi elders and culture bearers, Lummi Nation High School Blackhawk production students, and Children of the Setting Sun Productions, a Lummi-led nonprofit storytelling group. Thank you, and Haishka, for learning and growing together with us, or as we say, Jacental.